Hello and welcome, I'm Dante from Low Manor, and with E3 almost upon us, there's lots of games we'll be hearing more about, especially with all the current hype being built as we lead into it. One game in particular that we're interested in is Anthem, announced at last year's E3 as the latest project by the Bioware team. Here are some of the things we hope to see get confirmed, alongside some lucky people who get to try it out at EA Play. The subtle updates on the Anthem social media accounts is the first signal that we can expect to see a lot more information when E3 rolls around. So with the information about to flood in, what do you want to discover about Anthem? And which direction do you hope it takes? As you would come to expect from this channel, I'm going to start with the world and its lore. World building is important any time you want to build a long-term franchise, particularly in the current trend of multiplayer services, which so far have all struggled. Perhaps the most important aspect of this is when it comes to the stories they tell and how they tell them. It's important we get a sense of the world, its scale, who populates it, and most importantly, why. The why are we here and the why are we doing these things is what gives us both depth in the form of the world's history and something crucial for the endgame, motivation. Something games such as Destiny 2 really struggled with. They failed to add any weight to the motivations, both the villains and meaningful impact on the world. Linked to this is the how. Will it be deep but mysterious like the world of Dark Souls, scraping together hundreds of clues to the world's past, giving us as players a reason to uncover all the secrets the world has to offer, or more narrative focus like the traditional Bioware games? Honestly, I'm hoping for a combination of the two. Small flavoured text and lore-based scannables just go together well to reinforce a strong story. These also need to tie into the why, so that the endgame has a purpose. We need to be working towards something, so a strong villain or goal to work towards is necessary if the game is going to have any weight long term. Players' time is becoming ever more sparse, especially with the amount of choice in the market. The last note I have on the story aspect for now is related to the new banner on Anthem's Twitter. We know there will be several biomes to explore, and we get a tiny glimpse at some of them here. From the jungles where Fort Tarsus is located, possibly this location here, to what appears to be deserts and volcanic environments. Coincidentally, as I write this, a new teaser trailer dropped, giving us a tiny glimpse at what's to come. Along the same lines, Bioware and EA have confirmed what they plan to show off in vague terms, so I'll link that in the description below, as well as cover it nearer the end. But what is a great story and lore without a solid gameplay loop to make experiencing it enjoyable? We know we'll be getting actual gameplay this year, so we should have some pretty solid answers here. Even the basic combat we saw during the last reveal gave us hope. More details on how movement works in and out of combat to complement the abilities seems reasonable. The larger gameplay loop would be great to see though. Going out into the world, combat, get rewards, upgrade suit, repeat, something along those lines. This ties into the class system pretty closely, as Kim needs XP for something. What we can tell from the teasers so far is the introduction of a fourth class. This green javelin, yet to be named but looking significantly sleeker than the others. But how do we obtain the javelins? Are they earned, paid for, or just a frame we can build on from the start? If they are to have skill trees, I would argue it's reasonable to expect something similar to previous Bioware games, Mass Effect and Dragon Age for example. Significantly more depth than what we see its competitors like Destiny 2 use. Which brings us nicely onto the last aspect I hope to get clarified, the loot system. The loot is another way to add diversity, with or without a skill tree to build upon. Obtaining gear has been something a lot of games in recent history have struggled with, especially competitors, The Division and Destiny for example. It needs to be meaningful, feel rewarding, and rare enough when needed to create that loot grind feeling so many of us love to feel. Whenever I think about getting a loot right, I always go back to the same game, Diablo 3. At launch, it was flat out terrible. It was hard to obtain, didn't feel rewarding to get the high-end items, and didn't make you inspired to grind through its content for the rewards. And yet they turned it all around, now boasting one of the world's best looting systems. Set items have huge impact once completed, changing entire playstyles. The legendary gear has unique effects that make you want them, and randomization is balanced well enough that you don't feel cheated when a non-perfect item drops, topped off with extreme high-end progression for those that want it, and freedom to customize your character regardless of the gear it wears. Features like this will put Anthem well above its competitors, with only a week to go until we get our long-awaited answers, which you can be sure I'll be covering over the event as we learn more. I want to end with a quick rundown of what has already been confirmed to be shown by EA. A full new trailer, giving us a look into the dangerous world Anthem takes place upon, introducing some of the story, its characters, and of course, its monsters. More gameplay footage, expanding on the content from last year's live demo. A combat showcase. Players at EA Live will get hands-on experience with the javelins in what I presumed is related to the gameplay footage we get to see. Developers' insights during the EA press conference, featuring BioWare General Manager Casey Hudson, Executive Producer Mark Dara, and lead writer Kathleen Rootsart. And finally, a look behind the curtain. Some of the developers themselves will be showing off some of the concepts and production from the art of Anthem. You can catch the start of all this at 11 AM PDT on June 9th. As always, let us know what you want to see. Are you excited to learn more about Anthem? And what would you like to see them do with the game? Thanks for watching this video. As E3 rolls around, we'll be covering details coming out on games we're interested in. If there's any you want to hear about, let us know in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, you can use the like button, subscribe to support the channel, and for notifications new content goes live, you can use the little bell next to it. Until next time, I've been Dante, thanks for watching.